Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. In this tutorial we will work the sprinkle skirt. Last week I uploaded the video for the sprinkle sweater and now it's time for the skirt. But except the sweater, this skirt is super easy to make and you won't find any issues by working it even if you are a beginner. So I hope you will enjoy this tutorial and make sure that you'll give it a thumbs up if you like it, and if don't, please tell me why. Just kidding, don't. So now we will talk in the next frame about the materials and how you can calculate the number of stitches for the skirt by yourself just by measuring um, your body parts. So now I use Aran or heavy worsted yarn for this, size 4, and a 10mm crochet hook. I chose a way bigger hook than the one recommended by the yarn weight because I worked this skirt in waistcoat single crochet or center single crochet, and because I didn't want it to be that thick or I don't know, to have a bit of drape. I choose and that dance the stitch. I used a bigger crochet hook. I tried with different sizes until I got to a 10mm crochet hook, which I loved it, so I went for it. And then you will need a 1 centimeter wide elastic band. If you don't find a 1 centimeter wide, then you can use any elastic band that you can find. And the length of the elastic band needs to be with 3-4 centimeter less than your waist length or the waist circumference. You'll also need a stitch marker and of course scissors and yarn needle for weaving all the looser ends. Now this skirt is worked in continuous rounds, so we won't join the rounds at the end. So we will use a stitch marker just to mark the beginning of the row, the first stitch, and then we will continue working until we will reach the desired length. Now to start the skirt, because this is straight, so it's no waist shaping. The waist shaping is just by the help with the help of the elastic band, which this one needs to be around your waist. With the other width of the or circumference of the skirt, you need to measure your hips or your most prominent part of your body, and then add a few centimeter for the positive ease, because you don't want to be this uh, too closer fit. You need to have a bit of ease. So I had like 98 centimeter circumference and my hips measured 91, so about 7 centimeters somewhere over there. And then of course that you need to make a gauge swatch, and then to know how many stitches you need to start according with your gauge. Knowing how many stitches you have in 10 centimeters according to your swatch, you will know how many you will need for 98 centimeters. Again, this tutorial is for size small, but if you want to check up the pattern for other sizes up to 5 extra large, you can check my website. I will let the link into the description below. Now, this is the yarn that I'm using. It's Katia Azulejo. It's a mix of acrylic, wool, and I think it has some other fibers, because this is with 2 strands of yarn, basically to have those sprinkles spread on the fabric. So now we will start for the size small with 78 stitches, or the number of stitches you need to reach the desired circumference. And I told you that we will work in the round, so basically if you want you can just join the ends of the chain after finishing 78 stitches, or I chose to work the first round, so it's a single crochet round, 1 single crochet into each stitch, and join afterwards. in this way you'll make sure that your chain is not twisted and you don't need to care about the twisted chain. So now basically starting with round 2 we will work the center single crochet. So we will insert the hook between those two bars that makes the single crochet stitch. So not on top of the stitch, but in the middle of the stitch, in the center. And we will start working right away in the first stitch, and that's why I told you to use stitch markers to mark the first stitch or the last one, whatever you find it easier, because in this way it will help you to keep the track of your stitches and rows. And now we will start working the center single crochet into each stitch around. Pay attention to keep your tension looser. This will help you out to work the stitches easier. The first round is always a bit difficult, but after finding your perfect tension for working this stitch, you'll see that it's super easy. For the waistband, we will work 8 rounds, and then we will insert the elastic band, and we will continue working on the length of the skirt. I told you that there are no decreasing or increasing, so we're just working the skirt straight, and we will continue working 8 rounds, or depending on how thick you will want your waistband to be, you can work more or less rounds, of course depending on the width of the elastic band as well, because you need to get into with the elastic band into that fold. Okay, so this is my elastic band and these are my first rounds, and now we need to fold this around the elastic band, and we will start working the next round. So basically will be the round 9 through both stitches, so the stitches from the round 8 and also the stitch or the foundation chain. You need to make sure at first that you are having the stitches one on top of the other, the stitches at number 8 with the stitches in the foundation at round 1, because after you line at least the first stitch, then it will be easier to follow along and to work into the next stitches. So now I'm getting on my first stitch. It will be easier to get on that stitch because it's basically the stitch with the strand of yarn with the end that we have after chaining. So we will go into the first stitch and into the foundation stitch as well, and we will work the centered single crochet, and we will make sure that our elastic band, by the way, the elastic band needs to be so the ends to have it like a circle. And now we will continue working our stitches and make sure that the elastic band is right inside the fold. And this round will be the most tricky one, but it's not that difficult. You simply need to pay attention that you're getting into all of the stitches and not to get at the end of the round with some stitches left, or to realize that you need more stitches. This will mean that somewhere around the round you either skipped stitches or work too many stitches in one single stitch. So now let's just continue to work this round. This is how it's looking, and this is how it's looking after finishing this joining round. And now the only thing that we need to do is to continue working into continuous rounds until we will reach the desired length. I work in total, starting from now, 40 rows and no 50 rows, or sorry, 50 rounds, and in total my skirt measures 40 centimeters. Of course, if you want to make the skirt longer, you can work more rows and that's it, so you don't need to do something else about it. So simply work as many rounds as you need until you'll get to the desired length. And after completing the length, basically this was the main thing with the skirt, so I don't think I ever did such a short tutorial, but it was super easy, so I don't think there are too many things to say about this skirt. I know it's easy, but really I like it very very much. So after completing the length, to just finish the skirt, I just added 2 more rounds in slip stitches. You can add any edge or edging you want in any stitch pattern that you want, maybe twist a single crochet or something else. And after that, simply weave in all looser ends and the skirt is done. So I know it was a simple tutorial this time, but I hope you enjoyed it. You can find the sweater tutorial as well on my YouTube channel, and I hope you like that one too. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.